Real fast, I wanted to tell you about my new podcast, Upworthy Weekly. It's a lighthearted news podcast. It comes out on Saturdays, and I have forced my co-host, Todd Perry, to join me here to help me tell you about our new venture. Todd, why should they listen?
Well, I mean, a lot of people, they think, oh, it's the Upworthy podcast. It's just going to be sunshine and it's going to be unicorns. But you know what? It's really not that. Alison doesn't have the ability. She doesn't have it in her to actually be that person that I thought we were hiring when we did this show. But clearly, after just a couple episodes, the facade dropped. Okay, I thought, she's doing the Upworthy show. It's not going to be like, oh, neurotic, cynical Alison, but no, she's there. So, I try to counteract that with some of my good vibes.
I would argue that if one person is coming off as a little bit cynical and unhinged right now, it's not me.
It comes out every Saturday, wherever you get podcasts.
Bye.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison, with her the good times never end. Alison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison's your new best friend.
Hey everyone, hi, hello, welcome to a very special Monday episode of Alison Rosen is your new best friend. It is an unusual episode for me personally because I am recording it in a location I've never recorded before, and I know that makes it sound like I'm sitting on a beach in Fiji or something, but I'm actually sitting on my ass in my living room on my couch. But I've just never recorded here before, and I'm sitting here with my lovely husband, Daniel.
Hi.
And I have COVID. Daniel sort of still has COVID.
I still do.
And I think our house is just probably just dusted and covered in COVID.
So you already want to announce our special guest.
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
That's right.
BA5 probably.
BA.5. I feel like we're at a more formal.
Yeah.
What is this 2.75?
Oh, I haven't heard of 2.75.
Why are we going back?
Oh,
I
is
thought
that
we're
like
just
a
moving
previous one?
I don't know.
What happened to all the Greek letters? I thought we had Omicron.
Hey, honey.
I thought we were doing.
No, you can. We've barely just begun, and I'm already climbing up your ass.
Are these not omnidirectional mics? Never mind.
They're not omnidirectional, actually. But here's the thing, honey. When you gesture, you pulled the mic away, like the mic all of a sudden went like, woo, far away from you. Anyway, you know what? No one cares about that.
They
but
love
I do.
it. They love it when I do that.
Anyway, you know what? Let's get into our Type 5 on the naming of Omicron on a future episode. Anyway.
I just thought we'd be on Sigma. You know what I mean? Or Phi. Or Zune. Wait, what's the Z? Zeta?
I like Zune, though.
Zeta.
Wasn't Zune like an early recording device?
No, it was the iPod competitor.
That's what I meant.
Well, it wasn't a recording device.
Well, it wasn't a recording device.
Well, it wasn't a recording device, actually. It was Bill Gates'
a playback,
his entry into the MP3
player is what I meant. So anyway, so it
off
is
to a rocky start.
10:45 p.m. on Friday night, and we haven't had anyone in our home to watch our kids, obviously. So that's why we're recording
for
this
over a week.
We've had to raise them ourselves, like no American should.
We're like nomads out on the plains. Like it's like we're a couple who had kids and then we're banished from the tribe, and we're out in the wilderness.
We've been raising our own children, getting to know them. Elliot and I have been forced to converse. I know his favorite color and his favorite number and his favorite letter.
We're living in a yurt on the plains.
Do you want to know what his... So I asked him his favorite letters. Do you have any idea what they are?
His favorite letters?
Yeah. It was like a bad first date. I'm like, now what do we talk about? I would have guessed it would have to do. I'm answering my own question, but I have a crazy headache.
L and O.
No, but why did you think those?
They're in his name.
Yeah, I assumed he would choose ones in his name too.
What are they?
D and J.
Interesting. Did you ask him why?
No, that I was saving that for our next conversation.
For a Patreon only episode.
Right. No, so anyway, what was I saying?
I fucking have no idea.
We knew this might be a mistake.
Allison
We were well aware.
You came out of Elliot's room, and I looked up at you as though from the bottom of the ocean. Like I just felt so sleepy.
I know. You were really campaigning for we got to do this tomorrow night. And I was like, tomorrow night is just going to be like tonight, but one night closer to when this has to be finished.
It's fine.
And, like we need, So I felt like I really want to record with Daniel to tell the whole story of everything that has been going on with us, because I've sort of tried to tell it a little, because there's a whole
what do they know?
A whole saga. Hang on, I still gotta. No one cares about the backstory except me, so I must get it out. You're the person that I want to tell this story with. However, the only way to record this episode with you is if we do it when the kids are asleep. However, they refuse to go to sleep nowadays. So I knew that it was really going to be difficult, and we didn't feel comfortable going out in the studio. Hence, we've dragged all of our recording gear into the house. And now we're doing it in Fiji for some reason, which makes no sense. So we're recording it in the house. We are not sure the acoustics sound good. I think they probably sound fine. I'm sorry that I spent so much time explaining that.
Something they already know. They either know it sounds good or it doesn't sound good. Do you know what I mean? Because they're listening.
I guess, when you put it that way. Some people record podcasts, though, just sitting on a couch all the time, though. I
know.
How do you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel like this is how I should be doing it anyway? Because sometimes I go into the studio where it's like, a table and chairs, and I think, should I just get rid of all this and just put in like 2 easy chairs?
I don't prefer this because it encourages more of a relaxed feeling. I'm pushing against relaxation right now.
I know.
So occasionally things I say sound harsher than they mean to, because then I mean them to. Hi. I just learned to speak English because I'm pushing against fatigue.
I know. All right.
But
let's bring it up a notch.
I was listening to, I forget what, like a month or so ago. Was I with you? And someone who records a podcast in easy chairs, and they're like laid back Jack, like they're just sitting in there, and it was like hard. I don't know. It wasn't a great listen, but it was kind of a big show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
A big show in easy chairs.
Like there was a big celebrity on this, and I just was thinking, like, you're not helping yourself by being so relaxed. Now you could bend too far the other way. There are some podcasts out there where they
record on unicycles.
I just feel like the note to staff was yell your opinions enthusiastically. Like it's just like and it's just
that's
too much
like
energy.
any sort of cable panel show.
Yeah, I think you hit it just right. So never.
Thank you.
Never change Alison.
Wait, I want to know what show it was where they were overly relaxed.
I don't want to say.
Wait.
Yeah,
I
don't
suspect
remember.
I know. Did they record in an attic?
I don't know.
Setting?
I don't know.
Now I don't know if you know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
There is a show that's very popular whose ads are sold, but I believe by the same people who sell my ads, and I love those people. And I think I would love this. I probably love the people behind this show. However, I've noticed that in the photos for the show, the guests generally look, everyone looks very relaxed.
I mean, look, it's a vibe. I guess, everyone has a different taste in what they want in a podcast. And, that might be your thing. Great. You might want the yelling your opinions enthusiastically. Sometimes I'll listen to that too, annoyedly.
Okay.
But
ahead.
this is I prefer this. That's all I'm saying. Don't do this often.
Well, now I have to write it down. Do 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 do.
Now we gotta pay royalties.
Do do. Is it that one?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
You write down the host. I don't know podcast by podcast name. By the way, every podcast should just have the. No, it's not that one.
Jesus Christ.
It's not that one.
Well, write it down.
I don't know which one it is. I
Oh, you
know
don't
which
even.
one it isn't.
Okay.
If you wrote it down, I would tell you.
Would you, as a listener, find it compelling audio to listen to an hour to an hour and a half of me writing down
And
names,
saying
holding
yes
it
or
up
no.
to Daniel?
Just saying yes or no to
Yeah.
what you write down.
Okay, we do
That's our
have.
new podcast idea. Let us know.
I am finding one of my least favorite parts of COVID-19. Not that I've had any of the other numbers.
Is it still 19? I guess it's all a
It
variant
is.
of 19.
Yes,
right?
I know. I keep wondering the same thing. I'm so hoping this is like the end stage, is the knives in the ears sensation. I'm finding it so uncomfortable.
That's just sinuses. I think you have like.
I think my sinuses are irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to get decongested.
Okay. Where do I do that?
I don't know.
Thank you for your help.
What do I fucking look like, an ENT over here?
Our ENT has sent me a bill. And by the way, this is the third time I've received this bill because I keep ignoring it. It's a bill for a $10 copay, but you can't pay it online. That's it, just inviting me to push it to the corner of my desk.
All right.
The nerve.
It's crazy. This is why we need a national health service.
No, I know I sound ridiculous, but do you agree with me that in this day and age it is crazy to have a thing that you can't pay online?
Yes.
I think that this bill was typed on a typewriter.
And it's amazing how not on the same page every single doctor is from every other
Yes.
doctor. Like,
This office proudly doesn't call you to confirm. You get there and there's like a little index card that says we do not call you to confirm.
doctors' administrative offices are like parking garages. In that
Say more.
no two
Go
are,
off, King.
no two are alike.
You look so happy with yourself.
Well, some people
Have you
like
been working on this?
No, but some people like to say snowflakes. I say parking garages.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In that, like, you would think there'd be a standardized way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there would be some engineer.
This is my rationale for when I get, and boy, does this cause me panic. When I get trapped in a parking garage, and I don't mean because I can't. I had this conversation with, and here's a name drop, Lori Newman, I believe, on my podcast. Getting lost in a parking garage.
Mother of Lorraine Newman's daughter.
That's the one.
Wow.
Yeah. She thought I meant lost in a parking garage, like couldn't find my car. No, I meant lost in a parking garage, like I was in my car and I couldn't find the exit. I was like, I'm just going in a circle on the same fucking floor.
Well, think about it though. Can you think of two parking garages that are the same?
Only when I am trying to go to one medical building, but I'm in the mirror image of the same one on the
Even
opposite
then.
side of the street.
Even then, if you're thinking of Cedars,
No,
there are-
I'm thinking of like, I don't even know what I'm thinking of.
you're
I'm
not.
just thinking of like similar medical buildings that are the same enough but slightly different.
My point about parking garages is this. You would think that some engineer at some point would have said, this is the most efficient way
yeah.
of building a parking garage. It's just,
No.
it's just this.
They've decided not to communicate with anyone
It
ever.
is as though every time anyone builds a parking garage, they're just inventing it for
the first time.
For the first
I
time.
have told you my $1 million. I have a new $1 million idea. My new $1 million idea is some kind of babysitting agency that is staffed with people, with babysitters who have already had COVID, who can come and take care of your kids when you have COVID.
The crazy thing is you invented this like 15 years ago.
I did?
No, it's a joke because COVID is new.
Oh.
Good Lord.
I was excited to hear about how enterprising I truly was.
If anyone wants to know why I haven't started my stand-up, because this baby is being suffocated in the crib.
I'm going to say this one more time, and then I'm going to divorce you. Please stop gesturing with your mic hand.
Sorry. I invented something that actually is going to make us $1 million.
Okay, I didn't get to my second idea, but
Well,
tell me.
you want to go first?
Well, no, because I already forgot it. Tell me.
It is a sink where the top rim of the bowl of the sink has water all around that comes down, and another knot, like a button. So you...
Go ahead.
So it rinses the sink bowl out with the jets of water around the edge.
Like an airplane toilet.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like you do your thing, you shave or you spit or whatever, and then you push the button and it goes whoosh, and it just washes the bowl.
I like that. Why don't they have that?
I'm sure some fucker has already done it, but I invented it.
I like that. Now, why don't they have COVID nannies?
What's your second thing?
I know that they're saying like certain strains don't provide immunity.
Because you can get this strain twice.
Okay. And then my second thing is, is this COVID brain?
You know what I want to know is,
What?
like, is depression COVID brain?
I know, because you're depressed.
I've been really depressed the last few days.
I know.
And I just wonder, like, is that COVID or
Are you just depressed?
Am I just depressed? That's the thing that sucks about depression. You never know.
I know.
Is it fucking depression or is it motivated by some shit?
I know. That was the like amorphous murkiness I experienced when I attempted to get off of Lexapro a number of years ago when I knew I was going to be getting pregnant with Owen, even though they were like, you don't need to. And I was like, I don't think I need it anymore. So I tapered off. And then I got to a point where I'm like, I feel awful. And I don't know, is that the true me coming
Right.
back, or is that from the meds? Or like, if I ride it out, is it going to get worse or is it going to get better? But it's so unpleasant. I'm not down with finding out. So I guess I'll just stay on these forever. And it turns out that I'm better that way on them forever.
Yeah.
But motherfucker, what was the second thing, Daniel? My $1 million idea.
Well,
What were we talking
your
about?
first idea was nanny service.
I know, but you know what? I flew too close to the sun because I was just. This is what I've learned.
What?
I need to just adhere to the one thing I'm saying because I decided
Don't
to get
stack 'em.
fancy.
Don't stack 'em.
I did that.
Your
I
brain is
stacked
not
them.
a record player with multiple records on it.
It's definitely not. I can't multitask with my thoughts.
No.
What were we even talking about?
Fuck if I know.
Great.
This is what it's like. COVID brain is like what it's like when you're coming off of speed, honey. You can't hold a thought. Not that I would know. But-
How many times have you done speed?
What? Seriously? I
Yeah.
used to do it all the time. No, I did it accidentally one time.
Oh, just accident.
Well, I took acid in college that was laced with speed, I think. It was an unpleasant experience.
I have to remember because I'll die. Oh, no. We're talking about parking garages where you get lost. Oh, this is going to drive me insane. You know what? We have to move on because...
I'm happy to.
Okay.
It'll come back to you. Wait, so you invented something, though, you're saying? That's going to make us $1 million?
Yeah. It was...
It has something to do with parking garages?
No, I was just trying to retrace the conversation.
Oh, well, no one cares.
Okay.
You'll think of it. I tell you what.
What?
You'll think of it later.
Okay.
Come back, record it, and then Jeff will insert it right now. So
Tony.
Set it up.
It's Tony who
Oh,
will be
Tony's
doing
back.
it.
Okay, so
No, Tony's been doing the Monday shows the whole time.
okay, hey, okay, so Alison, tell me your second idea.
Well, we'll put it here if I can remember. And if not, Tony, just insert a fart sound.
Okay.
Anyway, we have some calls. Would you like to hear one while
Of course I would.
try to remember?
I love hearing from the people.
Hi, this is Kate from Boston. Let me see. I just saw your tweet and I got excited. Okay, I have a hey, go fuck yourself. So I'm single and I am in my late 20s, and I was talking to a guy on Bumble, and he asked me out, like last week, and finally yesterday he was like, okay, I have an idea for a date. How about we go to this place where you can hike? It has woods in the name. And he was like, and we can meet up there. And he's 35. And I was like, you know, are you aware that you're asking me to meet a stranger in the woods? And he was like, yeah. So, hey, go fuck yourself to him. This is pointless anyway. Okay, bye. It's almost a minute. This is Kate.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, the whole idea that you would ask someone on a first or even a second date to go hiking is just crazy.
Right.
But like to ask a complete stranger, and I have another question. Is Mumble
Bumble.
Oh, she said Bumble.
Yeah.
I was loving the idea that Mumble is a dating site.
Yeah.
It's just for like introverts, like
Right.
mousy introverts. It's Mumble.
Well, do we feel that rises to the occasion of Tony playing a Hey, Go Fuck Yourself?
Yeah, hell yeah. If Kate thinks so.
All right. Kate, not you, but the guy who asked you to meet a stranger in the woods, here's how we feel about that.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
By the way, I'm assuming she didn't go on that date.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like she didn't.
Yeah, that's wild. The fact that he followed it up by saying, yeah, like, and didn't go, oh, yeah, I guess that does sound like a little bit, well, you know, maybe we could go out for coffee or something. And he was just sticking to it.
Yeah, I need a follow-up to this.
There's a lot of like, he may not be a serial killer who was going to kill you in the woods, but he was going to spiritually kill you in your mental woods over time, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. Yeah. What is an outdoorsy date like that? I feel like that's a test.
Well,
it's a wholesome date, though.
Look, I mean, it's
a wholesome date, or it's an invitation.
It's a way of filtering out a certain type of person.
Yeah, and I hate that.
And so he may be looking for the type of gal who's up for that.
Well,
you know,
what is it a way
move.
of? What is it a way of filtering out?
Like saying women who are not cautious, but
Indoorsy?
just like properly protective. So it's like maybe he's a guy who wants a girl who wants a little bit of that risk and that fear. Maybe he's into some weird shit. You know what I mean?
But like in LA, if someone invited you to Runyon for a first date, but that's not
Well, she didn't
woods.
make it sound like it was like Runyon.
Yeah,
Runyon's
no.
pretty populated.
Right. She made it sound like it was like Muir
remote.
Woods or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I say weird shit, I don't mean to kink shame. God bless all of you out there, all you weird freaks that are into whatever you're into.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, Alison. Ray Morgan here, the actual Ray Morgan, not the Greg Heller version. I just remembered a joke. This is a literal dad joke, one my dad loved when I was a kid. I'm not sure how this translates to the modern world, but here it goes. What does a swan do gracefully, a duck do awkwardly, and what you'd like your doctor to do? Answer, stick his bill up his ass. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Ray. That
That's great, Ray.
reminded
Thank
me my $1 million idea. I think I've shared it on a podcast before. It's really, what a disappointment this is going to be. It is a system where doctors' offices can share.
Oh, you've talked about this. Huh?
Yes, you're fucking that paperwork that you have to fill out. I have such a headache. All that paperwork that you have to, and speaking of headaches, the headache of all that paperwork that you have to fill out by hand. Oh my God.
Right. We need a national health service.
I'm getting worked up. I have a headache.
A centralized national health service where everyone, this is stupid.
Because even when you fill out the forms at home, they still hand you a clipboard and a pen that barely works, and you still have to fill out 8,000 sheets of paper. every single time. And mostly the thing I can't stand is the ballpoint pen that barely works. I just can't do it anymore. And then they ask you the same questions over and over. And I'm just like, why do we have to fill it out every single time? Can't they just get that information from another doctor? And I know they can't because of HIPAA or something, but still.
And why do all of the sheets they give you look like they've been Xeroxed? They're Xeroxes of Xeroxes of Xeroxes.
They're like mimeographs.
Like, remember when we were in elementary school and teachers would have those things that they'd roll off before Xerox?
Isn't that a
machines?
mimeograph?
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah.
Wait, just print
Like
it off a computer.
That purple piece of paper that they would stick in
Yeah.
and it would,
Yeah, kids, we're old.
That's right. Okay. Should we tell the story?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think my head's going to explode.
What story? I'll tell the story.
Okay. Let's go back. Tony, by the way, you know what I think Tony doesn't care for?
Addressing Tony in the middle of an episode.
No, I think he likes that.
Oh.
Well, Tony had said that if we get it to him Sunday, like we record tomorrow, he's fine with getting it that late unless he has to insert a bunch of stuff.
He's out. Isn't he still out pretending to be a rock star or something
with
right
his
now?
dumb band? Yeah.
With his dumb band. Is he out? He's out like, oh, look at me. I'm playing the drums. Doody doody doody
Yeah.
doody doody doo. I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
Those are, yeah. And then sometimes it's like,
pop. He uses those dishes that he hits. And I say, I think he has a cowbell too. He's like, boom, boom,
I
boom,
don't, yeah.
and then he goes, ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. Tony goes, put a boom, psh, ding, 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 put a boom, psh, ding, ding, ding. I mean, come on.
Daniel, I swear to God.
With the microphone?
Yes.
Listen, they love it. Sorry. It's not my fault. I don't have a mic stand.
Would you want me to get you one?
Just what were you going to say? I can.
I was going to
say.
say.
I was drumming.
I know. Not at that point. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know. I was going to ask Tony to insert something, but now I forget. Oh yeah, I know. Tony, we love you. We are just being silly. Do you have any sort of sound effect that you could insert? Not the Tony Thaxton one, to indicate this is like a flashback. We're going back in time. Yeah. Like a.
Okay, so what is the story, Allison?
We're going all the way back to when we went to Tucson.
Oh, you want to tell the story of going to Tucson
Yeah.
or the story of something that happened at Tucson?
Well, the story of going to Tucson. I want to take them through going to Tucson and getting COVID. So we went to Tucson. I'm setting you up.
Drove to Tucson.
Yes. Now, why did we go to Tucson?
Well, I'm from Tucson, and my parents are in Tucson, as well as my sister, and who we unfortunately did not get to see, but that's okay. We still love you, Olivia. And but we thought, oh, you know what? I haven't seen my dad in a while, and so we wanted to get the boys out there to see their grandfather. Really, but they also wanted to go to Grandma's house because they'd never been to Grandma's house. Frankly, they had never been to Tucson.
It's true.
Now I had been reluctant to go back to Tucson because the one time I dragged your ass to Tucson,
I will never live this down.
You needed to leave early. I would describe you as not charmed.
A lot was going on.
There
for
was
me
a lot going on.
that
So we didn't want to fly. And
we had your dad was going to come out in January, and we postponed it because we were worried about COVID.
Irony. I know. He and my brother were going to come out in January, and I told them not to because there was like a little surge in January.
Yeah.
And the funny fucking thing is we ended up going to Tucson,
Tee-hee.
getting it. But anyway, so we drove, and surprisingly, the boys actually were. I was expecting the drive. You know, it's normally like a 7.5, 8 hour drive. I was expecting it to be like 10 hours, like I was expecting us to have to like stop in fucking, India or wherever and find a playground, Nope. They just powered through. They were great.
Owen didn't even get out of his car seat the whole time.
No, they were brilliant. We stayed at Los Ventana Canyon, which
so
is
nice.
probably, I mean, inside Tucson, it's probably the nicest resort, I would say. There are other places to stay that have their own charms. I'm not going to say like, there's a number of good places to stay in Tucson, but I used to work at Ventana, so I thought, yeah, let's stay there. Beautiful. It's up in the foothills, and it's
yeah, it was really nice.
And we hit it just right. Like we had to push it a couple weeks, and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna be going like during the hottest part of the year. This is gonna suck. But I was in the back of my head thinking like, but what if we hit the monsoon season? That would be awesome, and we kind of did. So it was rainy, it was overcast, it was nice. We get there, we see my parents, but at some point, somehow,
so
we fucking get COVID.
No one. First of all, barely anyone wears a mask.
Nobody. Like I fucking didn't see
we
hardly
went
anyone.
to a Starbucks in Palm Springs, and I was the only person wearing a mask other than the employees. And
we were at a truck stop outside of Blythe. Nobody was wearing a mask, and the workers there, the work in the registers didn't, but there was one woman who was, and so I went up to her, and both of us were wearing a mask, and we hit it off, and I go, yeah, I got the kids in there, and she goes, yeah, you know what I do? I give them melatonin. I was like, oh, she's giving me tips on how to knock my kids out.
I came out, I walked in, I can't remember, in or out of a bathroom wearing a mask in some truck stop somewhere. And I swear the girl looked at me and like jumped. She was like, it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it's
like, did I frighten her? Has she not seen someone in a mask? So anyway, yeah, they're like 0 masks once you leave California.
It's powerful. The social pressure that you feel not to wear a mask, like it's intense because you just like look around, no one's wearing a mask. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be the person wearing a mask. Everyone's gonna be looking at me like I'm some weird hypochondriac freak. But you know what? Fucking meanwhile, the virus has been like a wildfire.
Yeah.
Like honestly,
it's everywhere.
We did not take any like. This is what's crazy. We've been racking our brains. Like, how did we get it? How did Owen get it? Because we think he got it first.
We know he got it first.
Owen was the one who kind of like refused to wear his mask. He just, because he's a little kid and he'll rip it off his face from time
And
to
he
time.
also still uses a pacifier. So sometimes we'll let him wear the mask over the pacifier,
Right.
which prevents a tight seal.
But it's not like he was anywhere for any.
No, but he walked into the hotel without.
But nobody was there. It was
I know.
night. Literally, my mom was the only person in the lobby except for the woman who was working the counter.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know.
So it didn't feel like any kind of risk at all.
See, I'm like suspicious of their Friday morning walk down to the gift shop.
Well, my mom took them on a walk, and so it's possible that like
the next
I don't know,
morning.
but it just the point is that this new variant I think is just crazy contagious.
Well, so I know people, because I know like the people who have been hyper careful, like they're getting it now. I still wonder though, and I know I'm all over the place, but I still wonder if it had been just you and me, if we would have gotten it. Because I feel like Owen was the weak link here.
Oh,
Like if,
right.
But I know people who double mask everywhere, and I know one person who double masks everywhere, and he got it, and he's like, I have no idea where I got it, and he has like a kind of gnarly case right now. But so anyway, yeah, so Owen on a Sunday,
we got in on Thursday.
On Sunday, Owen was very warm. We didn't have a thermometer with us, but I could feel that he was very warm, and he just wanted to sleep all day. So I gave him Tylenol, and he was very warm. And so someone stayed with him in the room the whole time. I gave him a rapid test and he was negative. So I'm like, okay, well, so it's not COVID. And then we had plans to like go do something that evening. And I stayed in with him. You guys went out. And then when you came, and he like rallied for a little. He saw me sitting on the bed with my computer because I was uploading a show, and he like wanted to get up with me, and he sat in my lap for a while, and then he fell asleep on the bed.
He did a lot of sleeping that day.
He said his tummy was hurting. He was very warm, and I could feel his heart beating really fast. But I looked it up and on the internet, and it said that goes along with fever. He said his tummy was hurting. And then when you guys got back, he started crying and wailing and saying like, ouch, ouch. And then you and your mom were wondering, should we take him to the emergency room?
I said we should take him to. I wasn't wondering. As soon as he said, I don't know. As soon as he said, ouch, like to me, that at that point I have to rule out
appendicitis.
Something that's more than just nausea. You know what I mean? Like if he just has a fever and he's nauseous, he's not going to necessarily, I mean, it's possible he would, but ouch feels like pain, like a sharp, like ouch. You know what I mean? And my mom used to work at, she used to work in hospitals in Tucson, and she used to work at TMC, which is, has a great children's hospital. And so she recommended we just go to the children's emergency room there, and so we did.
And I was like, I didn't think we needed to take him to the emergency room because I feel like I've been
got
sick.
Great mother instincts.
I've been sick a million times, and I've had cramps. Like if you get stomach cramps, and you're like, yeah, but he doesn't have a uterus, and I'm like, yeah, but you still get like cramps in your gut,
gas can cause
pains,
it. Yeah, there are things that can
like
cause
that.
it, but it could also be like a appendicitis,
right? And I didn't want to be underreacting, especially heading into
Part
a holiday
of it too
weekend.
was like his fever was strange. It's like, where did he get this? It's not like we'd been anywhere,
right? And we didn't have a thermometer. So anyway, we like pack a bag. I do because I know we're going to be there a while. And Owen doesn't want to go anywhere, but you pick him up, and we get in the car. Hang on one second. And from where I'm sitting, you seem like to me, you seem pretty anxious or nervous. And so as we're walking, from the car to the pediatric.
Just for the record, I don't experience fear, the human emotion of fear.
Okay, sorry.
So
you seemed excited, like someone about to go on stage.
I was thinking about a movie I'd seen, and I was reliving it.
So I say to you, based on my years in medical school, I say, just so you know, if it were appendicitis, he would be super sick and he'd be throwing up.
And so then what happened?
A second, you could not have written it. Like a second later, as we open the door to the pediatric emergency room,
walking into the lobby.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you go, he's throwing up. I mean, it was so, the timing was insane.
And
I'm like, what? And it's just like coating your shoulder, splashing on the like shiny hospital floor. It just everywhere.
All over me. Like my whole shirt.
And I had brought an extra shirt for him, but not for you.
The nurses gave him a hospital shirt. Yeah. I just had to like wipe myself down and let it dry.
It was so gross.
It was pretty nasty.
And we came in, and he was just at this point wailing.
He was so unhappy.
They took us like back to their little station right away though, and he was just like saying no and refusing everything they were trying to do, like put a little bracelet on him, take his vitals, everything. He's just saying no. They took his temperature. It was 103.6. They gave him Motrin. They were asking me, like, when did you last give him Tylenol? And my brain, I think because once I heard what his temperature was and because of the way he was crying, I started getting nervous. And so I was just like, my brain just kind of like mushed. And I was like, oh, I think it was like at 6 o'clock. And they're like, what dosage did you give him? And I'm like, or she's like, how much did you give him? I'm like, I don't know. It was the tablet. And she's like, you gave him a tablet? I'm like, first of all,
calm down. Not like an adult
right
pill.
I didn't give him a caplet. Like, it was in that moment that I'm like, I feel like you don't have children, because if you did, you would know they make.
But also, she's a nurse in a pediatric emergency room. She should know.
It was the weirdest thing. It's like they make Tylenol chewable things for 2-year-olds. Like, back off, sister. So anyway,
by the way, they were all great. I mean, honestly, they were great.
They were. You know what? I'm sure she didn't mean anything by it. I think I weirdly felt inadequate in that moment.
I would say though, like
I felt very
impressed.
inadequate in that moment. She probably didn't mean anything by
the
it.
experience there, despite the wait, but you're always going to wait in an emergency room unless they're triaging people.
I know.
So it's like, so we had to wait longer. But everybody there was great. The facilities were really nice. Like, I was impressed.
Yeah. I'm sorry that we gave all of you COVID inadvertently.
I know. Well,
so anyway,
we did isolate ourselves as much as we could. Like,
it's not, hey, we tried to stay away from all of you.
The crazy thing
it's
is,
not our fault that you all refused to wear your mask in the proper way.
The crazy thing is, so they ended up taking us in finally,
you're jumping ahead.
I don't want you to bore them with the details of this story. It's
okay.
boring. I mean, unless you think there's something interesting, I'm skipping past. But it's like, we end up going back there, and then the doctor examines him and is like, he's fine. It's not appendicitis. Here's what to look for with appendicitis. And then you asked for the COVID test.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Hang on. I will now do a drop. Well, it's Alison's show.
I know.
I'm just sitting here going back and forth thinking, like, well, on the one hand...
Do you want to tell them every detail of this story?
Well, on the one hand, you're right. I do belabor at points, and it's probably better to go there to get there faster. But on the other hand, like... I mean, what is my show
Sorry,
if not?
I am harshing your buzz.
Well, it's just like...
All right, bore your audience. It's fun.
Thank you. So then...
Oh, my God. I'm going to lean back. Strap in, folks.
Lean back like a guest on that show. Which show was it?
I wish I could remember.
I
could tell you
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to lean back.
Okay.
Well, I needed to move it a little so I could get the cord.
Just be careful.
All right, here I am. Okay, here's my podcasting. I gotta
take a picture. I gotta take a picture of you for Patreon.
Here, hold on. I gotta adjust. I'm in repose.
Everyone, catch your breath. Oh, you're not gonna like this photo. Okay.
All right.
I will just make this part fast.
Doubt it. Okay, sorry.
Fine. She asked me questions that I didn't remember the answer to, and I felt in a little bit of.
We're not even out of that office yet.
Well, I'm sorry.
Christ. That was like the first thing we did. Oh boy.
This is where Elliot gets it. Oh my God! If you try to rush Elliot, he just slows down.
You can. Oh my God! It is. Oh yeah.
He's like a, what do they call it? Like Chinese finger cuff.
He is Chinese finger cuffs. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like anytime we're in a rush. Yeah. If you're like trying to hurry him along,
then he sits down.
You have doubled the time.
I know
that it's going to take.
Yeah. So anyway, so then we go and sit in the waiting room. And at the beginning, it is boring. You're right. At the beginning, Owen was wearing it. Anyway,
Who are you telling the story to, your mom? Like, you could just call her. This is a show, Alison. There's people. They're living their lives. They got important things to do. Respect their time.
Okay, I just want to say, so I can clear my conscience. The irony is, I was so concerned about us getting COVID in that waiting room.
Yes.
Because remember, I was certain that we did not have COVID because I had taken the rapid
Tell
test.
them about the conversation you had with that woman and her daughter.
I was so sure we did not have COVID because I had taken the rapid test. I thought, he's fine. He's got a flu or something. We're just here because I've got a nervous Nelly of a husband.
Not true.
Who doesn't experience nervousness. We're just crossing our T's, dotting our I's.
Got to rule it out.
We just got to rule it out, but they're going to send us home.
And by the way, I'm glad
And
we did
also,
because not only
hang
did we
on,
get
hang on,
tested,
hey, it's
and now I know
Allison's-
what to look for with appendicitis. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we got some info. And also, by the end, Owen went from lying on the floor to singing, and he was like, once the Motrin kicked in, he was totally
They gave
fine.
him like a super dose of Motrin.
He was totally fine, and we almost walked out of there without even being seen. Daniel thought we should just leave because he was so fine, and also Daniel was wearing a vomit shirt. So anyway, but near the end, like before they took us back, when we were like, should we just go? Because Owen has made a miraculous recovery. This little girl took an interest in Owen, wanted to play with him, and as they started getting close to each other, I turned to Daniel and I'm like, I don't know if he should be that close to other kids. I don't even know what I was worried about. I was both like, for her sake, but also for just it's an emergency room.
Anyone
Yeah.
in an emergency room.
So her mom said to us, by the way, we are not worried that she has COVID. She had an allergic response to something.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
And you said, okay, that's great. We're going to give her COVID now, though.
And I said,
about to give her
okay.
COVID.
I said, okay, we don't suspect he has COVID either.
Ugh.
And then I crossed my fingers and shoved them in my ass. No.
Ugh.
And then,
About this whole situation.
yeah, but that's what I believed.
I know. Well, that's how
And
unlikely.
he wasn't. She was wearing the little girl was wearing a mask, though, wasn't she?
No,
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, God.
I know, but that's how unlikely him getting it was. It's not like we thought of, oh, yeah, actually, we were at
She
that
wasn't
thing.
wearing one?
I don't think so.
Her sister and her mom were, though.
Yes.
Ugh.
Her mom definitely was. She may have been.
Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, God.
Well, listen, everyone's got to die sometime, honey.
Oh,
No, no. I mean, it's true.
well, yeah, but I
it's
mean,
not
I feel so bad. I feel so bad.
I'm sure she's okay. I mean, look, Owen.
It's an emergency room.
Owen was like fine the next day, or it took him a couple days. He was over it.
He was
Elliot got sick.
No, hang on.
He was sick for a couple days.
Let's not minimize.
Well, he was sick, but it wasn't
He was
like
sick for 3 days. He was like pretty sick for 3 days. So anyway, then finally they take us back and they tell us that it's just a stomach bug and take him home. They're going to give us a prescription for Zofran, which is an antiemetic. And if the Motrin, if he keeps feeling good on the Motrin, fine. But if it stops responding, like if he's in pain that doesn't respond to the Motrin, that you have to bring him back.
Honey,
What? Too much detail?
I don't know. Sure.
Is that what you're?
This is.
Too much detail?
Does anyone care about what medication he was on?
I'm sorry. Why don't you tell them what happened?
I'm sorry. This is so boring to me. Listen, I absolutely love you listeners for loving you and your boring story.
So anyway, then it's okay.
What else did the doctor say? Did they? Oh, tell them where we were going to pick up the prescription. Did you tell them that yet?
CVS.
Yep, CVS, my favorite place. By the fucking way, in the chronicles of CVS, we were supposed to pick it up the next morning, which happened to be the 4th of July. I go at 2:02, and they had just closed the pharmacy at 2. And I just want to say once again, CVS, hey, you know what? Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, I think that this would be an opportunity for the eat a bag of dicks drop.
They absolutely, yeah. Eat a bag of dicks, CVS. Fucking suck. You can eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a big old bag of dicks, eat a bag of dicks, eat a bag of dicks. Hey. All right, sorry.
So anyway, with appendicitis, it like follows a course or something, or his tummy was soft. It takes too long. Imaging wouldn't have shown anything at this point. You got to go home, and if it's appendicitis, then it'll reveal itself, and at that point you bring him back. And so I said, it's very last minute, like on our way out, oh hey, by the way, do you have PCR tests? Why don't we get one of those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they weren't going to give it. You would think that it would just be automatic, like any kid that comes in with any kind of flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
PCR.
It really was just let's get some like, bang for our buck.
I guess. I mean, if you want.
She's like, "Do you want a flu test too?" And I was like, "Not really, but sure." So anyway, we go. That takes forever too.
We almost didn't because it was going to take us.
I know.
So much longer.
Again, we almost left. Go back to our hotel. 4 a.m., which is shortly after we get there, I get a call from the doctor. And I knew that it was not going to be good because I got a call from the doctor and he was positive. So that was that.
Tony, edit this down. Make it
a minute or
entertaining.
Two. Yeah.
You do tell stories sometimes. Whenever it's a story that's like medical related, it's like you're telling your mom the story. I think that you have a distorted idea of what's interesting about a medical story. I don't mean to be too critical, but I'm being very critical. I don't mean to be.
Feels like you don't mean to be.
I
don't
mean to be. I feel bad that I am, but it's more.
Have you ever seen any medical drama? People love it. They eat it up.
Hated
I
ER.
know.
So maybe it's just me. You know what? Maybe it is just me.
You know what?
Yeah, actually,
I mean, no, it's not just you. I'm sure that plenty of listeners will write in.
No, but I think it's important to point out that my criticism here might be unfounded.
No.
In that I have a particular.
You hate the word cyst. And you had a problem every time I talked about the fact that I had an ovarian cyst, it made you want to curl into a ball.
There is that.
A cyst-like ball.
There is that, but I'm also like supremely bored by anything medical related. Like I am just not interested in medical shit. That's what it is. So I apologize. I hereby extend an apology to you and your listenership.
Unaccepted.
Oh, shit.
Here's the thing, Daniel.
What?
I think you have opened the door.
Oh, boy.
I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone in feeling this is boring as fuck.
I know I'm not.
And I think you've now opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I will get mail from people who feel that finally someone has let that cunt know that this is supremely boring.
Yes.
This bitch has been prattling on and on with her words.
This is not the first time.
Words.
This is not the first time.
No, I dragged them. What?
This is not the first time I've pointed out how boring your stories are. You don't get that. You don't get those messages. You haven't gotten them the last time.
I think it might be one of the first times you've really dug in.
Yeah. Felt good too.
I'm just saying, this is not. I'm saying, I'm sure that you're not the only one.
By the way, is it a coincidence that you're wearing saguaro cactus socks right now?
It is actually.
Saguaro cactus is a plant that only grows in one part of the world.
Hang on. Did you think it wasn't a coincidence and that I put these socks on in order to record this show?
I knew it wasn't, but the chance that you did, it was too good. I had to. It's like playing a lottery ticket.
So anyway, if you agree with Daniel that my stories are boring and filled with too much medical detail, I want you to open up an email draft write the email,
And then
shove it up your ass.
shove it up your ass. Print it out, roll it up, and shove it up your ass.
No, I welcome your feedback. Send it to Daniel. Let him know. He would like to know that he has what?
Yeah, send it to me.
Do you want them to send it to you? Would you like to know that you have?
I'll never read it.
What? Are you drowning in email?
Kind of.
You know what, Daniel? Clearly, this has struck a chord, and obviously, I should be talking about that. It's the kind of thing I should be talking about in therapy. And now, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. How well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work. So why don't we treat them that way?
Good point.
I know. There's plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, learning a new language, taking power naps. There's also BetterHelp online therapy. Look, you guys know that I believe strongly in therapy. It's helped me immensely. Daniel was talking about his emotions earlier, and I feel that he would be.
You've been trying to get me to go back to therapy. The harder you push, the more I won't.
Well,
I should, though. I get it.
I just think that it would make you feel better, and I think that you would be happy. This is what I see happening. I see you getting back into therapy, and then I see you going, "Oh, I should have done that a long time ago."
Yeah, therapy is really good. Don't get my grouchiness. Don't take it the wrong way. Like it's great.
BetterHelp is online therapy. Thank you for your help. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with therapists in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bestfriend. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/bestfriend. And I also want to talk to you guys about Miracle Brand. Warm weather is here. For me, that means hot, sleepless nights. I recently found a way to stay cool at night so I don't wake up all sweaty and sticky. Since I started using Miracle Brand's self-cooling sheets, I stay comfortable all night long. Excuse me. I choked on how much I love these sheets. Using silver-infused fabrics originally developed by NASA, Miracle Brand sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with natural silver that prevent 99.9% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. The sheets use a premium 500 thread count sateen weave that's made with USA grown Supima cotton, which is one of the highest quality cottons in the world. Daniel, you thought you knew what the highest quality cotton was. You were wrong. It's Supima. Stop sleeping on bacteria, Daniel. Clean sheets means less bacteria to clog your pores and fewer breakouts and other skin problems. Go to trymiracle.com/bestfriend to try it today. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Be sure to use our promo code BESTFRIEND at checkout to save 40% and get 3 free towels. And Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Brand. Go to trymiracle.com/bestfriend and use the code BESTFRIEND to claim your 3 free-piece towel set, your free 3-piece towel set, and save 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/bestfriend. Thank you, Miracle Brand, for sponsoring this episode. Can you plug me in, Daniel? My body. I feel like I'm on low battery power. Listen, I need to do some speaking of plugs, I need to tell you guys about Patreon because I'm realizing that I've got stuff coming up and I haven't been plugging it. And then Daniel and I need to catch you up on what happened once we got home. And I'm going to make it more expedient because I have internalized the note that I've received from Daniel and from the haters in this world. And then also we have got a few more calls and then we got to wrap it up.
And then intermission.
And then intermission.
Okay.
Good stuff. And also, is it hot in here?
No.
It's not.
It's 71 degrees.
Cool. So, listen, patreon.com/Alison Rosen. I just did an Ask Me Anything episode, which was super fun. Before that, I had Stephanie Wilder Taylor. And on the Ask Me Anything episode, I teased in the next episode where I'm going to reveal some old gossip that I've been sitting on.
Ooh, blind items?
I'm going to attach names to them. But I've just been sitting on just a pile of old gossip.
Old goss.
Old goss.
Sweet.
Yeah, because I asked them, I'm like, do you guys want to hear this old goss? Or do you want to nibble from an old muffin that is somehow still fresh? Or would you like to just eat new baked goods? And they all want to nibble on the old muffin, on that old muff.
At least someone does. So I'm glad you have Patreon. Glad you have Patreon.
So anyway, so old goss that's fresh, steaming hot old goss, A. B, live stream. I'm doing a live stream for people at the texting level. That's the $10 level.
Ooh.
On July 24th, which is a Sunday. My hair will be freshly straightened. I've had to postpone this so many times because of the COVID. So my hair will be overly flat. I'm just warning you, if you're expecting volume from my hair, you're not going to get it, because right when it's straightened, it's too flat. Okay. So I'd like to apologize on behalf of my hair, but I'll be there. And Daniel might pop in. Maybe Elliot will even pop in and do a magic trick.
To. Elliot's like desperate to be on a show.
I know. He's all about doing magic these days.
His
oh boy.
His favorite technique, his favorite way of doing magic is okay, close your eyes. And that's when the magic happens, is while your eyes are closed. It's funny because you imagine a magician on a stage
doing
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's very cute.
It's so cute. But the funny thing is that some of it is like that. Like, okay, close your eyes.
Well,
but then he's actually getting, like, as I was putting him to bed tonight, it was so cute. He was lying there practicing the finger maneuver where he holds a finger up and then pretends there's a thread he's pulling with his other hand. Like, he's practicing little hand gestures and things.
I mean, the funny thing, I've been thinking about how with us, like, YouTube is this revelation of, oh my gosh, first it was just all the crazy shit people would post, and eventually it became like, you know what, anything you want to learn how to do, you can kind of find a YouTube video, and that's really cool. But I'm only now realizing, but wait a minute, if I'd had this when I was 5, like, the cumulative amount of shit I would have learned by now would be exponential.
Right.
Like, you think about, since YouTube, I've learned so many things. Yeah, well then just, what am I now, 29 years old? Like 29 years of it.
Yeah.
49 years.
You're not 49.
I'm almost 49.
Okay.
It's these kids are going to know so many things, like so many little, like he's sitting there just teaching himself, like Elliot is teaching himself magic tricks. Now, he's 5, so it's like, but
his hands are a little bit too small to do some of that.
Right, he can't really do the hide a card trick, with his hands or whatever. He can't do the sleight of hand.
The apple thing, yeah.
Oh, and completely on his own.
Taught himself
completely on his own. Has learned the solar system. Like, I quizzed Alison.
Oh boy.
Because he sat there and he did this the planets in order, distance from the sun. This is our 3-year-old.
Here, I can play it.
Okay.
Could you say all the planets?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Ganymede, Neptune,
Thank you.
Bang!
And what are your favorites?
Mercury.
Thank
He loves Mercury. He always loves the smallest. Like if there's that Pugs show, that Cutie Pugs.
Cutie Pugs.
His favorite was the littlest pug. He likes the littlest planet.
Yeah. Mercury, Green Mix.
Mercury, green
Bird.
Miss. No, it's Green Miss. Bird. But anyway, they're learning all this shit. Oh yeah, I was going to tell everybody when I quizzed you on the planets, and so I said, what is the order of planets from the sun? Do you want to tell them, or do you want me to tell them what your disgraceful answer was?
I don't remember.
It was Venus, Earth, Mars. Like it was like you thought we were.
Okay.
No, it wasn't even Venus, Earth. It was like Mars. I think you thought Mars was closer, but we were like definitely second. I think it was like Mars, Earth, Venus. It was like something so insane. It made me wonder.
No, you would know what you said?
If you had ever even been to school.
Do you remember what you said to me?
No. I'm sure it was great.
You said, "Are you secretly dumb?"
Yeah.
And I said, not even secretly.
No, I think you're one of these people that like, you know a lot about, you know how like they say a PhD, someone who gets a PhD is someone who knows like the most anyone can know about a very, very specific thing, but don't expect a PhD to know that much about other stuff. So you're like that peak narrow thing, except just high school level, like just push it down from PhD. Like you know a lot about like English literature and language.
At the high school level?
Well, I would say college.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. College.
Oh, I see. Of the other stuff.
But everything else is like sub high school level, like like basic stuff you don't know. Like anything to do with like government,
I know,
or the Constitution, I've found, politics, anything to do with astronomy in the solar system, math.
I know math.
You know, I'm talking about real math, hon.
What's real math?
Everyone out there is laughing right now. I can hear them like, oh my God. I'm talking about like, honey, I'm talking about real math.
I took AP Calculus.
Okay. Anyway.
What's real? Excuse me.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
What's real math? I did better on the math part of my SAT
Did
than
you really?
the
Did
verbal.
you really?
I did, actually. Isn't that weird?
That's actually shocking.
I know. So what's real math?
I just threw that out there.
Okay. It is shocking. It was shocking to me as well.
Let's
but
just
only
say-
by like 40 points or
Let's
something.
just say I thought I would have assumed your knowledge base would have been more well-rounded.
No, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Okay.
But it is.
Listen,
but the things you know,
listen.
but honey, the things you do know, you know, hun. You know those things.
Okay, listen.
And the things you don't know, not so much. You don't know them not so much. But the things you know the fuck out of them. You know that shit. Like Emily Dickinson, you know that shit. David Foster Wallace, you've read about that on Wikipedia. You know.
I did recently.
But the stuff you don't know, you don't know it. That's okay.
Listen.
It's okay. You got what you wanted out of life. You got your husband and your kids and your career. All right? You're not going to be used in astronomy.
Are you done? Are you done?
Sorry.
In my defense, which I believe is what I said to you that morning, I studied the solar system in 3rd grade. I've been on Space Mountain a few times.
By the way,
Let me finish.
I feel like if you've been on Space Mountain a couple times, you should know. Go ahead, sorry.
Solar system, 3rd grade. We had something called Space Day in 3rd grade. Space Mountain. Pluto was demoted 10 years ago. That is the extent
It's true that
of my having anything to do with the solar system.
astronomy isn't covered after third grade at all, really, is it?
No.
Yeah.
So a lot of people wrote, because I posted this on Instagram, a lot of people wrote in to give me a mnemonic device, which is,
Do you know who doesn't need a mnemonic device?
Owen.
Our fucking 3-year-old.
He doesn't have a lot that's vying for his attention.
Don't say that about my son.
Which is my mother, or my
Ugh.
very educated mother just served everyone 9 pizzas is what it used to be. And now it's my very educated mother just served everyone noodles.
Okay. Or you could just remember the planets.
Okay, eat a dick, first of all. And secondly, but they only know that because it was in like a Saved by the Bell episode or it was in a TV show or something. Now, to your other point, it is shocking how...
Wait. My very educated mother...
Mercury, Venus, Earth,
What?
Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Wait.
Everyone?
No.
You.
Us. Sorry, not
Served
everyone.
us.
Us.
Okay.
Uranus.
Served us noodles.
Or,
Okay, got it.
or Grimmich. Grimmich?
Gremix.
Grimmix.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's not Albert Einstein, but he's 3.
I gotta hear it again.
Could you say all the planets?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Grimmix, Neptune.
Thank you. And what?
Bang!
And what?
He was still sick. by the way.
Gremix.
You could
Yeah.
you could hear his stuffed up. Yeah. I think maybe it's not fair. It's fun to give you a hard time.
No, what I was gonna say is it is weird though.
It's not something you need to know. It's not
Okay,
knowing the fucking
you're
order of
phasing in
planets.
and out.
Knowing the order of planets is not a thing.
No, but I wish I had a better understanding. I know, but it's driving me nuts. I wish I had a better foundational understanding of politics and the government, and like, it's weird that I don't.
Yeah, you
I
went
feel
to
like
good
I have to
schools, too.
keep learning. I feel like I have to keep learning it.
Every school you went to was better than the school I went to. I think it's like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff where if you don't have an interest in it,
I
it's hard to
guess.
retain the information. Like,
Right.
And also learning government and that kind of stuff, civics, it's hard when you're a teenager because,
Well, even like I remember
It's
learning
hard-
world cultures, and we'd had a class called world cultures, and even like the term cash crop and learning history.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I understood what is a cash crop. The way that we learned all of that and learning about, rivers and cultures and cash crops, and they raise this and all, like none of that meant anything to my mushy teenage brain.
It's interesting. I have not really thought about this, but yeah, like when you're learning all that stuff, for me, like almost everything I learned before the age of like 26, like everything through college that wasn't my chosen, in college, like film or something, was just just like a tortured act of memorization.
Yeah, it's like you're buying knowledge canned goods to store in your
Right.
brain cupboard
Exactly.
that you'll open later, because and this is why I don't really understand a lot of it. Like anything I was learning about, like these people and the like cash crop, like what?
Right. What does any of this mean?
I
and what's
am
the
not
context
yet
of anything?
old enough, and I don't have any sense of the world enough to understand that cultures make money. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
none and trade routes and
Right.
maps with trade routes and rivers and ports, and I mean, like none of that makes
Like,
sense
why
to me
should I
at
be
all.
interested in any of it? I know.
None of that made sense, and like even like wars didn't like none of it made sense. God, they teach it to you so young and none of it made sense. And even understand, like, I would like to relearn even like understanding the causes of the different wars is kind of memorization. That I have a little bit more understanding.
It's
of.
like in an ideal world, if you were to just create a society and an education system without any other contexts, just be like, how would this work with the human mind and the development? You would be like, I would strip away 75% of the shit they teach you and just leave like certain skills and sort of basic understandings. And then when you reach a certain age, then you can start to fill in the details of things. Like, okay, now that you can start to see context, now we're going to teach you about like world history in a way that you'll actually engage with it because you're actually interested, or you can relate now to, like, I was thinking about how like they have kids read Shakespeare in high school, and honestly, like even Romeo and Juliet is probably the most accessible to a high school kid, just because it's, you know, the main characters are, I mean, I guess Hamlet too, but that's the other one they teach. But you're not gonna, Hamlet's hard to get as a kid, I think. But like even Romeo and Juliet is kind of like, in my opinion, not really meant for teenagers. Everyone's favorite book is Catcher in the Rye, because Catcher in the Rye is like the one book that speaks to the experience of that, and like A Separate Piece and To Kill a Mockingbird and Lord of the Flies. They all star kids. What is my point? Oh yeah, I wish that I was still in school, is what I'm saying. I really would have gotten so much more out of school if I
college, you mean?
Basically started college in my late 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way too. I feel like I could have gotten a lot. I mean, yeah, it's like tempting to go back to school. Lost my train of thought. You know, when I think about it though, the classes that I really did enjoy, it really had to do with the teachers who were good. And so I wonder if I'd had a great civics teacher or a great like world cultures. You know, I had the guy who taught world cultures was, people called him coach. Now I'm sure you can have a great coach, but I didn't. I can tell that person's weak spot in their knowledge if all I need to know from them is what class they took that was taught by the football coach or a coach. It was world cultures.
For me, it was economics.
Oh, I didn't even have an economics class.
I don't know. I didn't know shit about economics because it was taught by the football coach. That was part of your. Yeah, they had an economics, but it was like it was completely useless. Yeah, what was I gonna? I forgot what I was gonna say.
Interesting.
Yeah. So. Yeah, well, that was our world cultures. And then, but what you're saying is like the teacher thing is so true,
right? Because
I had a good social studies teacher, and he was really funny, and cynical, and kind of
like makes it come alive.
Yeah, we would like every, I don't know if it was every day, but someone would come in with a newspaper, and then he would go through like, and you kind of see the context of what was going on, relate it to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But like biology, Spanish, I had terrible teachers, and I suck at those things. Economics.
Hi, Alison, Daniel, and everyone. This is Karen calling from St. Combs in Scotland, and I just wanted to say hey, and I hope everybody's doing better after your bout with the dreaded vid. Just got a joke, it's kind of a kid-like joke, and a joke to stave away the heat, because it's really hot here, and I'm sure it's worse there. So two snowmen were standing in the field. One of them turned to the other one and said, "Do you smell carrots?" Anyway, that's my joke, and I hope you guys are great. Again, this is Karen calling from sunny, weirdly hot Scotland.
I like that one.
You know, Edinburgh and another Scottish city,
Dublin is in
my
Ireland.
God. Oh my God.
It's late.
were just named like top 10 in the top 10 like cities of the world by something I just read. Hey, by the way, I'm like 1/8 Scottish, so Toodle Pip. I don't know what they say. Do they say that?
Toodle Pip.
Yeah.
Toodle Pip.
You know, I was looking at, speaking of the heat, by the way, in England, like they're just having a crazy heat wave right now. I was looking, should we move north? Should we migrate north as the global climate climbs? And I found this thing from the UN's ICCC, ICCC or whatever it is. They have a model, and you can choose a part of the world and see like what northern areas north of us are going to get hotter than where we are now.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucked? Like Canada is going to be hotter than Southern California in these models.
That's nuts. I forgot to do my other plug for my Patreon. And the other thing is, I was sitting there thinking about something. It's a long story why I was thinking about this, but I remembered there was this reply guy that used to reply guy me all the time.
And now he's your husband.
Different one. Back when I was on the Adam Carolla show. And when the severance happened, the severing, he sent me this email, to let me know he was no longer going to listen to my show. And it was so shitty.
Like, was it mean?
Yeah, it was so passive aggressive.
Like he was settling your hash because of the shit Adam said?
Yes, but in the most like passive aggressive way. And I was just like,
yeah, but Adam's he's their daddy.
do I remember that right? So I looked it up and I did, and I'm like, I gotta read this. I know that this is 7 years old at this point, but I have to read this on Patreon because it's unbelievable. So you got, I'm
that's
like,
good.
I'm like tempted to like read it on this
you
show.
Save it for
so
the paywall.
I'm gonna save it on Patreon. It's just so good. It's just so beyond. It's so like, are you kidding me? It was so good. It was like I almost wanted to be like, I didn't say anything to you at the time, but I just want to let you know 7 years later that this was super shitty of you.
Yeah, I mean, generally, folks, it's like
you don't have to let someone know.
You don't gotta let someone know you're not gonna participate in their art. You could just not participate in it. You can not consume it. You can move along your merry way.
This is someone who like communicated with me like all the time.
He probably thought it's that parasocial thing. He probably thought that you'd wonder where he went, and
I guess. Anyway, so I'll also have that on Patreon, patreon.com/Alison Rosen. I think it might be time to wrap it up, Daniel.
Hey, honey, it's your show.
Oh, now it is. We didn't get to all the calls, but I'm just looking at.
If we hadn't gone through the gory details of.
I know, and we didn't even get through all of it, which is I thought that I wasn't going to get COVID for so many days.
Let's just say, how did your opinion evolve on the city of Tucson?
While you nearly destroy our equipment. I liked Tucson a lot. I was surprised at how relaxed I felt. Other than the COVID, we had a nice time.
Tucson. I love Tucson.
Yeah.
There's things that, there's no place that you're going to love without there being things that you don't like. And I like to crap on Tucson because it's fun. It's where I grew up. But it was so nice being back.
It was nice.
And there's something about being there. I feel like for me, it's like the feeling is like there are rooms in my mind where the doors are shut, and when I go to Tucson, the doors open. Like there are rooms I can go into that I can only go into when I'm in Tucson. It's weird. It's like parts of myself that I can't access unless I'm like in the desert or something like that.
That's so interesting.
It's a strange sensation, but I do love it, and We hit it. It was raining. It was beautiful. You're in the foothills. Yeah, it was nice being back. Ain't going back anytime soon, though.
Probably
Fucking
not.
COVID spreading motherfuckers.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah.
But Lowe's Ventana Canyon was great.
Yeah.
Stay there. Tell them Daniel sent you.
Tell them Allison sent you. Daniel and Allison.
Go to the golf and racket club and bring up my name, and they'll be like, that guy worked here 35 years ago. Or however long ago it was. 30 years ago?
You think some 20-something-year-old is going to say that?
The people that I worked with, if they're still working there, God help them. But you never know.
You never know.
Anyway,
you guys, you're the best.
They are the best.
You are the best. Review the podcast. We love your review. Tell a friend. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts. Follow me on social media. Listen to my other podcasts. Blarbity blurb. And, all that.
I feel like there's more they could do for us.
Oh, yeah.
Tell a friend. Hey, if you know someone who is looking for a nice podcast to listen to, tell a friend. Tell a friend. Spread the void. Be like, hey, are you listening to that podcast where people sit down and they're all relaxed in lounge chairs?
Yeah.
Upgrade your life. Listen to the Alison Rosen's New Best Friend show.
Right, where she yells at her husband for gesturing with the microphone and then he gets on her case for going into too much medical detail. It's riveting content.
It is riveting.
It is riveting. It's riveting content.
Yes.
It's riveting. Remix, Venus, birth.
The story
Bird.
that I tell Owen every night he wants me to tell him before going to bed is the story about how Mercury got dizzy going around the sun and then had diarrhea and pooped out a baby Owen, and then the baby Owen floated to Earth, and that's how Owen was born.
Aww.
And he thinks that's the funniest story ever, and God bless him.
That's so sweet.
Okay, well, that's the story of Tucson. Does anyone want anything else from me right now? Because I got to go.
No, I think we're good, Daniel. Thanks. Listeners, you guys, thank you for listening.
Hey, follow me on stuff.
Oh, yeah. Do your thing.
I mean, look, I'll admit, I use Twitter a little bit to vent. So if you want to hear me grumble and vent, follow me on Twitter at Daniel Quantz. But Instagram, totally different. I do basically nothing. Follow me there at Daniel Quantz.
Yeah, follow me at Alison Rose on Twitter and Instagram. Check out Upworthy Weekly. It's more refreshing than this on Saturday mornings. I love you. Wait, that's not how I do it. Thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.